All right, Shalom. I want to start off, as always, by giving all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Racha Kodash, double honors unto the apostles, the elders, and the bishops of Great Millstone. I want to send much love to the brothers out there doing this work in truth and sincerity. And I also want to send peace and blessings unto the believers of the hopeful elect. And in this lesson, I wanted to do a response video unto the video that was put up by the elder Apostle Tahar, in which he did a response video to a video that was put up by the IUIC Detroit. And I'm sure most brothers and sisters have seen this video. If not, I encourage you to go watch it. But pretty much in this video, man, the apostle addressed a statement that was made by this guy in the video, because basically they teach at the IUIC that if you have more than one wife, you are committing adultery, okay? Which is complete madness. And as I said, the apostle already destroyed that doctrine. And so all I want to do in this video is throw in my 2 cents on the topic, because I need to do a lesson anyway. All right. But just to give, more edification, more clarity on this topic, because to make such a statement as that having multiple wives is adultery, that is sin, then all of our forefathers, all of our righteous forefathers who had multiple wives, they were sinning and going off. But we know that that's not biblical. But for these guys to teach us, it just shows how much these guys don't know the scriptures, and that they fail to search the scriptures, man. Anything that Bishop Nathaniel says at the IUIC, they just take it and run with it. These guys don't read the scriptures. They ain't studying nothing, okay? We're supposed to be like the Church of Berea and search the scriptures daily to see that what we're being taught is true. But these guys don't check the scriptures. And one thing at the IUIC, man, they're known for talking about the law, right? They're always pushing the law, the law, the law. Well, in this lesson, we're going to read the law and see what does the law says about having multiple wives. And also, I wanted to address the issue of him saying that under Christ, as they say, he was saying under Christ, we can't have more than one woman. You niggas are bugged out. There is no scripture where Yahweh shall say you can't have more than one woman. But I want to start here first in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, right? Because he read verses 1 and 2 to those 2 women you see in the video there. Those 2, women who know they're Israelites. And they basically told them that they share husbands, so-called, right? Which isn't wicked. But they were pretty much trying to convince them that they was wicked for sharing a man. And he read verses 1 and 2, which you have no understanding on verses 1 and 2, okay? If you read verse 1 and 2, all right, here in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, all right, quick read, it says, now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, right, because there was asking Paul questions, okay? It says, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. What is the Apostle Paul talking about here? He's talking about adultery, okay? If you read chapter 5 and 6, but pretty much chapter 5, this is the answer to that. Because at that time with this church, adultery is something that they were struggling with and dealing with, man. And so Paul is writing this letter to give them understanding and to call out their wickedness, saying, look, do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that. Because clearly it's not wicked to touch a woman. So what is he talking about? He's talking about adultery. it says, nevertheless, to avoid fornication. Okay, and fornication is talking about adultery. He's saying to avoid adultery, right? Let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. And the guy from IUIC, he read this saying, you see, it says have your own wife and have your own husband, not share husbands. Well, if a man have more than one woman, he's not going off. Or if a woman is sharing a man, she's not going off. Paul isn't saying, look, if you have more than one woman, then you're going off. Nowhere in here did he say that, bro. And Paul couldn't tell a brother not to have more than one woman. If he already had, 2 wives or 3 wives, then that's his life, bro. Law is not against that. Lord is not against that. But dude read this as if this was like, cutting their situation, okay? These guys don't know the Bible. But something that's very interesting, okay, down here in verse 12, because the IUIC also teaches, brothers and sisters, all right? They teach that if you are a brother or a sister in the truth and your partner is not in the truth, you're supposed to leave that unbelieving individual and come get with somebody in the IUIC. That's adultery, nigga. That's wickedness. You're breaking up families, households, because this particular brother or this particular, sister partner don't believe. What did Paul say? Since you want to read 1 Corinthians chapter 7, nigga, what did the Apostle Paul say concerning that situation? Let's read. 1 Corinthians 7 and 12, it says, but to the rest speak I, not the Lord. If any brother hath a wife that believeth not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away. IUIC, why don't you guys honor this? Because I know a woman who was personally in the IUIC and a man who was personally in your IUIC, and I actually met that woman husband before, okay? I met him face to face, shook his hand. I went to her house and everything. Like I know her, okay? Through a mutual source, okay? I'll just say that. But I know the woman, right? And I remember when she left her husband and joined the IUIC because her husband didn't believe. And that caused strife in her marriage, man. That caused tension, okay, with that man, because he was like, what you meaning, like, what you talking about? Why can't you be with me? Because he didn't care that she was, doing the Israelite thing. He didn't care. He just wanted to be with his woman. But she left that man because the IUIC told her to leave that man. But yet they got the nerve to say that you can't have more than one woman. Man, please. I'll read it again. 1 Corinthians 7 and 12. But to the rest speak I, not the Lord. If any brother had the wife that believeth not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away. Verse 13. And the woman which hath an husband that believeth not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. Why? Because you'll be causing that woman to commit adultery. Okay? That's wicked. Now, if her husband dies, she's no longer under that law of her husband. She can be free to go and marry someone else. Read Romans chapter 7, verse 1 to 3. Okay? But if that man is still alive, okay, technically according to the law, if a woman sleeps with a man, right, that man, so-called got her V card, right, he broke her virgin. If she leaves that man and go get with another man while that man is still alive, she is in the midst of adultery, technically, okay? And pretty much we're all guilty of this, man. If you grew up in Babylon the Great, bro, you've had a woman that wasn't a virgin, man. And guarantee the man who took her virginity, he's still alive, more than likely. So we're all guilty of it. This is why Yahweh called us an adulterous generation. But the Lord knows our situation, man. He understands what we're dealing with here in Babylon the Great, but we have no sovereignty, no liberty, grew up all messed up, man. So that's going to happen, you know, and the Lord understands that. But you guys are breaking up whole households, man. Verse 14 says, for the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else were your children unclean, but now are they holy. So that child is holy, okay? It says, but if the unbelieving depart, let him depart. A brother or a sister is not under bondage in such cases, but the Most High had caused us to peace. So if the unbelieving wife or the unbelieving husband leave because you're in the truth and they don't agree with it, then let them leave. Scripture say you're not in bondage to that, okay? But most of the time, the man and the woman don't leave, bro. But then it happens, okay? It says, for what knowest thou, O wife, whether thou shalt save thy husband? Or how knowest thou, O husband, whether thou shalt save thy wife? Okay, so now I want to move on here to the law, okay? Since the IUIC always talking about the law, okay? And those guys, they don't keep the law. They're some of the biggest hypocrites in Israel concerning the law, okay? So this is the law, right, of our forefathers. This is the law. This is our law. Exodus 21 verse 10, okay? This is the NLT version of the Bible. It says, if a man who has married a slave wife takes another wife for himself, he must not neglect the rights of the first wife to food, clothing, and sexual intimacy. So it's clear in the law that an Israelite man can have more than one woman. If this was wicked, the Most High God would have said, hey, look, Moses, tell the Israelite men that they can't have more than one woman. It's sin. It's adultery. But there's nowhere in the law. There's nowhere in the New Testament, bro. So the IUIC is making up their own doctrine. It says, if he fails in any of these three obligations, right? So as an Israelite man, if you get with an Israelite woman, you're obligated to feed that sister, to clothe that sister, and to do the grown folks. Okay, I'll just say that word, to do the grown folks. Okay, that's something that you got to give the woman, bro. Provide food, clothing, and give her, okay, the grown folks stuff. Okay, you got to do that as an Israelite man. It says, if he fails in any of these three obligations, she may leave as a free woman without making any payment. All right, so this is one law. Let's go to the next law. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21, starting at verse 10. Okay, this is the NLT version of the Bible. As you can see here in the title, it says marriage to a captive woman, meaning a woman of the heathen nation that we take down. But I'll read it, okay? It says, suppose you go out to war against your enemies, and the Lord your God hands them over to you, and you take some of them as captives. And suppose you see among the captives a beautiful woman, and you are attracted to her and want to marry her, in which this woman here, she will be a concubine. And a concubine is a lesser status of a wife, okay? But nevertheless, she still can be your woman. And amongst the heathen nations, they do have beautiful women, okay? Let's just be honest, bro. They have beautiful women. King David had some, Solomon had some, all our forefathers had some. So this is the law, all right? It says, verse 12, it says, if this happens, you may take her to your home where she must shave her head, cut her nails. So you can take this woman to your house, even if you got a wife at home, all right? You can take that woman to your house. Beautiful precept, brother. Beautiful precept, Bach, because I had that Judges 8 on deck, brother. Beautiful precept, Bach. Shalom, shalom. And look, shalom to all you brothers and sisters on the comment board, man. Yahweh, Shema Shai, Barakathon. Okay? But I'll read your precept there, brother. This is Judges 8, verse 30. It says, and Gideon had 70 sons of his body begotten, for he had many wives. Well, brother, according to the IUIC, Gideon was going off, he was sinning, okay, according to these guys. Them guys are bugged out, man, all right? But back here in the law, okay, this is verse 13, all right? It says, Deuteronomy 21, verse 13, and change the clothes she was wearing when she was captured. She will stay in your home, but let her mourn for her father and her mother a full month. So that captive woman gets a full month to cry for her father and mother. Okay, it says, then you may marry her, right? And you will be her husband, and she will be your wife. And how does marriage happen? By way of intercourse. That's true marriage. Now, granted, our forefathers did other things. They had ceremonies. Sometime, they wrote, documents, between the families. But what consummated that marriage was intercourse, okay? You have sex with a virgin or you have sex with a woman, that's your wife. This is what it is. Sex is marriage. But here in America, that concept isn't too much, accepted and understood here. But sex is marriage, according to the Most High. Show me in the scriptures where Adam and Eve, went to court and signed some damn papers, or Isaac and Rebekah. Don't you know that when Rebekah came to Isaac, Isaac got her the first day. He hit that the first day. So she came into his tent, he got that. And according to the scriptures, it said he was comforted after, that he got, a Rebekah, man. That's just what it is, bro. So reading verse 14, it says, but if you marry her and she does not please you, you must let her go free. You may not sell her or treat her as a slave, for you have humiliated her. So if that woman don't please you, right, that he's the woman, you got to let her go, okay? So now, going to verse 15, okay? It says, suppose a man has 2 wives. Uh-oh, IUIC. Uh-oh. Suppose a man have 2 wives. This is a law. You guys always tell Jake on the highways and byways, keep the law, keep the law. According to the law, a man can have more than 1 woman. It says, but he loves one and not the other, and both have given him sons, and suppose the firstborn son is the son of the wife he does not love, right? It says, when a man divides his inheritance, he may not give the larger inheritance to his younger son, the son of the wife he loves, as if he were the firstborn. He must recognize the rights of his oldest son, the son of the wife he does not love, by giving him a double portion. He is the first son of his father's virality, right? And the rights of the firstborn belong to him. So you got to give their firstborn son the right of inheritance, okay? So now I want to get an account here, okay, of our forefather, right? This is 2 Chronicles chapter 11, verse 21. And it says, this NLT version of the Bible, it says, Rehoboam loved Maacah more than any of his other wives and concubines. So Rehoboam, he loved Maacah more than the rest of his wives, man. It was just something special about Maacah, right? It says, in all, he had 18 wives and 60 concubines. And they gave birth to 28 sons and 60 daughters. He had 18 wives and 60 concubines, okay? I guess he was going off and sinning, brother. I guess you were wrong, right? No, man. Stop being simple, bro. Brother got 5 precepts on the board. Come read your precept, brother. This is the brother Alabad, Napash. 1 Samuel chapter 1, verse 1, it says, now there was a certain man of Ramath Thaim Tazaphoim. Okay, excuse me, but it's a hard word. It's a very hard word. It says of Mount Ephraim, okay, and his name was Elkanah, right? The son of Jeroam, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu, the son of Zuph, and Ephrathite, right? It says, and he had 2 wives. The name of one was Hannah, and the name of the other was Peninnah. And Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children, okay? And Hannah was the mother of Samuel the prophet, all right? Brother put 1 King, Shalom, my brother Mayan put 1 King 11 and 1. It says, but King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites. And he had 700 wives, princes, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. So our forefather had multiple women, man. Okay, this is clear. And the brother, he read this about getting here, but I read it again through the Spirit. In the NLT version, it says, Judges 8:29, then Gideon, son of Joash, returned home. He had 70 sons born to him, for he had many wives. Okay, he had many wives, man. Now, I wanted to deal with the statement also the guy made in this video here. The statement he made, he said, under Christ, right, as they say the IUIC, he said, under Christ, under the New Testament, we can't have more than one woman. First and foremost, nigga, the New Testament is just an upgrading of the Old Testament, in which the laws of the Bible will be programmed into the Israelite man and woman spirit, okay? We're going to be programmed to do what the law say to do. Instead of us trying to remember what the law say to do, most are going to put it in our spirits, and we're going to do it naturally, okay? So what you guys are talking about, man? Y'all act as if it's going to be different laws in the kingdom of heaven. It's going to be the same law written about, written in the law of Moses, man. Okay, right? Hey, look, this brother right here on fire, man. I don't want to get out on precept, brother, because I want to make the lesson too much longer, brother. But you got it though. You got it for tonight, brother. This is 2 Chronicles 13:1. It says, but Abijah waxed mighty and married 14 wives and begot 22 sons and 16 daughters. Man, look, our forefathers, bro, who were kings, who had wealth and lands and resources, they was getting as many women as they wanted. Men do this today. Men who are so-called high-value men today, they got all kinds of women. What you think gonna happen in the kingdom of heaven, bro? When we get in the kingdom of heaven and the Israelite man gets his inheritance, when you have land, cattle, gold, silver, slaves, power, okay? What you think gonna happen in the kingdom of heaven, bro? You think brother's gonna have one wife in the kingdom of heaven? No. No, 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 no. Right? Like that woman said on what's that movie, man? Get Out. She said, no, 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 no. No, man. Brother gonna have thousands of wives in the kingdom, bro. Thousands, okay? That's the truth of the matter. And the Israelite woman gonna be okay with that. She's gonna be perfectly fine with sharing the Israelite men in the kingdom. Shit, even in these times. When Isaiah 4:1 happened, okay? Real quick, let's go to Isaiah 4:1. Real quick, man. You guys are tripping. How do you feel about Isaiah 4:1? When this happened, okay, which this is going to happen in our time, all right? This is going to happen in our time, right? It says, Isaiah 4:1. In that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat of our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Now, this word 7 here, I ain't just talking about 7 women. 7 means completion. Who knows how many women will cleave to a brother when all hell break loose? A lot of women are going to cleave to brothers, man. For safety, for protection. All right? But the point that I wanted to, stress on is it says, only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. In the kingdom of heaven, our women won't have any reproach. Okay? And what's a good example of taking away their reproach? One example would be maybe a sister, might be barren. Okay? And that sister who's barren, if she get with a brother, she can, possibly get pregnant. But also the reproach, goes into them, being in a terrible situation, all right, catching hell. But if you read Luke, okay, Luke about Zechariah's wife, okay, Elizabeth, she couldn't get pregnant. Hold up. Yeah, Elizabeth couldn't get pregnant, man. And let's see here. Here we go. It says, Luke 1:23, right? It says, and it came to pass that as soon as the days of his menstruation was accomplished, he departed to his own house. And after those days, his wife Elizabeth conceived and hid herself 5 months, saying, thus had the Lord dealt with me in the days wherein he looked on me to take away my reproach among men. So one of the reproaches could be that a sister barren, but then she get with a man of the Lord and she can get pregnant. But it's really going into, women being in a difficult situation. Okay, all hell been broke loose, Jacob's trouble, and sisters going to be trying to get with men of the Lord if they ain't got no man already. That's going to be going down, bro. According to the scriptures, all right? But as I was saying, man, this guy, he made a statement about under Christ, we ain't going to be able to have, he said under Christ, we can't have more than one woman. BS, okay? Here we go. This is Matthew 19:27, and I get ready to close out, bro. I pray it was edifying, but it says, the disciples' reward, okay? It says, then answered Peter and said unto him, behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore, right? What shall we have for forsaking our lives in the world and cleaving unto this ministry, okay? Making this our main priority. What shall we have for this, brothers? It says, and Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me and the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren or sisters or father or mother or wife, right? Because some brothers have forsaken their wives, man, and families have been broken up because of this truth, right? It says, or children or lands for my name's sake shall receive an hundredfold and shall inherit everlasting life. Now, let's go into the word hundredfold, because maybe hundredfold means one. Maybe it means one, brother, because IUIC is, I mean, they're hell bent on, or brother, but you can't have more than one woman, brother. Here we go. I'll let Esau pronounce this big terrible word here.
Strong's G 1542. Hekatantaplasion. Hekatantaplasion.
Right, whatever he just said, okay? Here we go. Hundredfold. It says hundredfold, 100 times as much. 100 times as much. So having multiple wives in the kingdom of heaven will be a gift, a reward from Yahushua. Having a bunch of lands, a bunch of children, that's going to be the blessings of the kingdom, man. What the hell is wrong with you guys, man? What is wrong with Jake? Now, if you want to say, look, brother, it's not expedient to have multiple wives for the ministry's sake, that could be taken into consideration. Because Paul said what? All things are lawful, but not all things are expedient. If you would have said that, that would have been cool. Because every brother can't deal with multiple women. Okay? That's not every brother's spirit. But certain brothers can deal with multiple women. Okay? They can. But everybody can't. That's wisdom. Because you don't want to take on too much on yourself, man. Because women can be a distraction, okay? Whether they know the truth or not, bro, they can be a distraction. And our main focus is to preach the gospel, to commit unto this ministry, man. This is our first priority. Everything else comes second. That's just what it is. But sisters in the faith should know that, should understand that I'm dealing with a man of the Lord. He's committed to Yahweh Shema Washai. I got to respect that and understand that. But, whatever, man. I pray it was edifying. Okay, I just want to give my 2 cents on the situation. IUIC, them guys, man, I mean, they cease to amaze me, all right, because it's almost like every week they got some new doctrine out there, breaking the scriptures down wrong, whatever, man. But I pray you brothers and sisters who tune in was edified. Was edified. And I'm going to close up by giving our praise and glory to Yahweh Shema Washai, by Hashem HaKadosh. The honors unto the apostle and elders of the great millstone, man. And peace and blessing to the elect. Shalom. And shalom to you brothers and sisters who come in board, man. To water for the precepts, brother. To water, man. Keep fighting, keep pushing out there. Shalom.